the milestones to up your
They
tax
call the
levels.
arms.
Yeah, you got to go in if you want to get the milestone. Right? Oh, you got it ready for it. That seems to like the bloody sword. I don't know why. But I don't like the sword.
Oh yeah, Iris, I got the Vigilance and Catalyst done.
Nice. I finished my Jade Rabbit last night. I went into a match needing 21 more. And finished that match with 3 kills extra than I needed for 250.
So you done a bit of overtime, did you?
Should be right there.
Oh, Iris. I just...
My life right now.
See how much bloody glimmer I've got now.
This guy just camping out here. What the hell?
Yeah, that keys you off, doesn't it? So just sit there.
No, I'm not even crucible. He's just camping in the EDZ. Just hidden in a bush.
Oh, you might have left the toilet or something like You might have been called away for the game for a minute.
I'm gonna dive after over here.
I know, right?
Ah.
I've got 8,233 glimmer since I've been doing down here. A little bit. Okay, once I keep
I need to calm down.
It's got a heavy
Takes out one attack. I took it to 369. Excellent. Take it to 364.
Hey, so tell us a story.
Yeah, tell us the story about Vietnam.
Vietnam?
Yeah.
Wow, what about Vietnam, mate?
Give us some examples of what happened.
Well, I can tell you, I wore 5 bullets for a start. Right? I was hit by 5 bullets. One of them, I should have been dead. Because one got me across the back of the head. So it's been another, what, 1/8 of an inch? It would have shattered my skull. Yeah? As it was, it kept on going. Anyways, yeah, 5 bullets. So I should have been dead then. I'm still alive to tell the tale, knock on wood. Right. It was an experience. I had its good times and its bad times. I mean, most of what happened over there, like, it was the first televised war for starters. So I called it the helicopter war, you know? And most of what the people saw back home, what should have happened with the 52s, the bombing, right? But everyone in America, I'm talking about just the people on the street, they were against what was happening. Australia, they were against what was happening. New Zealand, because all they seen was the bad bit. Yeah? They didn't see the good that we done at the same time. Like we were bloody building orphanages and schools and things like that, as well as that fighting. We were doing a lot of good for the South Vietnamese community as well. Yeah? But they never saw that. So they all got up in arms about it. So the Americans stopped the B-52s bombing. They shouldn't have done that because Ho Chi Minh was only 2 or 3 days away on putting up his hands and saying, right, we've had enough. Yeah? Because when you're dropping cluster bombs and when you're dropping up that, there's a lot of, in the 60s there was more, there was more ammunition dropped out in Vietnam for 13 months in that 13 months, there was more munitions dropped than what was dropped in the whole of the Second World War. This is only 13 months, yeah? So there's a lot of bloody bombs got dropped on Vietnam and Cambodia, which Cambodia wasn't involved in it. The Americans still bombed Cambodia as well, yeah? Which was wrong because they were not involved. Vietnam was never declared war. It's what we call an operational zone. Yeah? It was never a declared war. It had its good times, it had its bad times. After Vietnam, it was I don't think you'll find a Vietnam veteran who doesn't like helicopters. They saved a lot of lives. They saved a lot of lives because when I got shot, if we didn't have helicopters, they dropped the winch through the canopy and winched me up through the canopy into the helicopter and got me to hospital. Now from the time I got hit to the time I got to hospital was less than an hour. Yeah? Now we didn't have helicopters. They would have had the waste men taking me out, yeah? Because, yeah? And it would have probably taken, let me say, a couple of days to get to the hospital. Yeah? So because you've got to get out, you're in the bloody jungle in the middle of nowhere, yeah? You've got to get out of the bloody jungle, get to a road, get the transport to where you are, then get to the hospital. Yeah? Well, the hospital is in Bang Ta. The hospital that we use in Australia was in Bang Ta. I think the hospital that the Americans had, I think, Long Bin had a hospital in Long Bin because that was quite a large American base in Long Bin. I mean, all American bases were big anyway. But Long Bin was a fairly big one. And if we didn't have the hospital in Bangladesh, well, that's where we had to end up going. It would have taken a hell of a lot longer. But, yeah, mate. Okay, mate. I'll catch you then.
Another impeccable smash and grab.
Because they got to use the men to bloody carry out. To be fighting, not wasting time carrying out the stretch. So the helicopter, it saved a hell of a lot of lives. I mean, I've got in my house. You walk into my house, mate, there's about 15 or 16 helicopters in my house. Models. They're all over the place. Right. But, it did make a lot of angry people in the world. Yeah, because what we were told in Australia was that like we government bullshitted to us. It wasn't the South Vietnamese that asked us to go, it was actually the Americans that asked us to go into Vietnam. Because we are good allies with the Americans as well. But what our government of the day told us was that the South Vietnamese government had asked us to go to Vietnam and help. Yeah? And if you sit and look at it, the stats of it, like America sent, let's say, we'll say 500,000 men, right, to Vietnam. They lost, I'm not sure, but I know they lost over 50,000 dead, okay? Now Australia, because one of my mates who comes, the one that comes from Georgia, asked me the other day, he said, how long was Australia involved in the Vietnam War? I said, basically from the start. When the Americans first went, and we were there basically from 1962 till 1975. Yeah, we sent our first lot of Australians, it was only less than a company of men, to Vietnam at AATV, Australian Advisory Training Team Vietnam. They went over there to train the Montagnards, which were the hill people in Vietnam, lived up in the hills, and the South Vietnamese army, they were training them how to fight.
Lay down.
They were useless fighters, right? The Montagnards, yes,
Lay
they
down.
were.
Now.
But,
I'll tell my son to lay down.
the Americans sent about, we'll say 500,000. I'm not sure how many America actually sent. They lost over 50,000, I know that. But if you look at the stats, how many people live in America? Between 250 and 300 million, right? Now, Australia sent 63,000 over to Vietnam, right? But if you look at the stats, and we had 523 were killed, yeah? And the Americans say, well, we sent more men. I said, yeah, but you look at the statistic. You've got 250, 300 million people in America. We've got 23 million people in Australia. So you work your stats out, and we sent more, like per head of population, than what you did. Yeah, what the Americans did. Because we escalated. We didn't drop our numbers, but we kept on sending more and more and more men. We started off with a company, which is say about 60, 70 men. But in the end, it was 1, 2, 3. There were 3 battalions there at a time. So it was what they call them. Forget bloody mine. Then you combine them all together, and there's like a headquarters. It's not just separate battalions. They combine them together, and I forget what it's called. I hate it when my mind goes wobble about it. Right. But, when you look at the stats, Australia and New Zealand, I mean even the Philippines, they were involved. So you never heard about the Philippines that were involved in Vietnam, but they were also involved in Vietnam. Wouldn't have been too many of them. Like New Zealand, they sent about 5,000 men over there. You look at the stats. In America, I mean, they did lose a lot of ground. I realise that. Yeah, we lost. In actuality, we didn't lose anywhere near as many, but according to the stats, we did. Yeah, but ahead of capital. Right. And I look at the stats. When I talk to people about it, I say, well, we sent a lot of people over there. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it was a lot. It was like the First World War. I mean, back then everybody, like, they were lying about their ages so they could get over there.
Yeah.
Australia back in the First World War 100 years ago only had about maybe a population of maybe 2 or 3 million, if that. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And we lost over 60,000 men. Yeah? In the First World War. The world has changed. I don't know if it's for the better. I think it's for the worse, actually. Where the world's gone. Right. But it's like everyone to their own. We've all got different ways of thinking. Everyone to their own. I'm going to get up and make a coffee. My mouth is always bloody medication. It's always my bloody throat out. Okay. But I have something to drink. Back my mouth. That's too yeah, I'm going to make a coffee. I'll be back in 5 minutes.
What's up, Ironers?
Hey.
I'm gonna die.
You just stay quiet. Just stay quiet. Just believe me, stay quiet.
I've spotted another
CD,
Cabal
are you
mining
drunk?
expedition. Guardians
No, you'll understand in a minute. Like, maybe 5 minutes once this guy gets his coffee.
It's bad.
Okay.
I'm so evil.
You posting more nasty pictures.